Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. This video is inspired by John Oliver's fresh report on conspiracy theories. And in his solution, he offers an alternative to ignoring the friends that spread around stupid shit. And since ignoring it is such an obvious solution, presenting an alternative is a good idea. John Oliver presents an alternative. He solicited and got cooperation from 5 celebrities: Paul Rudd, John Cena, Alex Trebek, Catherine O'Hara, Billy Porter. Paul Rudd is an actor born in New Jersey. I'm middle-aged American living in New Jersey, so maybe there's some attraction to Paul Rudd. John Cena is, I think if people know John Cena, they're sure to like John Cena. He's currently doing a Nickelodeon Are You As Smart As a 5-Year-Old? And he's a wrestler and entertaining in other ways. Alex Trebek is an American institution, needs no introduction. Catherine O'Hara is a Canadian comedian from Toronto, and Billy Porter is an award-winning Broadway actor. So listeners, if you want to find the content of John Oliver, of course, it's easy right now if you're catching this at the time when I produce it, because it is currently John Oliver's freshest YouTube video. But if some time has passed, just remembering the name John Oliver and Google searching it with one of those 5 celebrities will probably get you back to John Oliver's piece on how to understand conspiracies, how to think about it, and how to present the sharing, how to reduce the sharing of bad information. So if I was a celebrity and I were asked to do the same thing, I would refer to, I think, a Vox piece where several of their professionals who are working at home reported on some of the projects they were working on, some that they contributed to that were in progress, and some that were complete, where they had either verified internet media or disproven internet media. Now, one tool that was presented to me in a way that I believe I'm smart enough to, the information on it would be in English. I read English. I might be able to figure out how to do it myself. Listeners, you are probably smart enough to do this yourself. You would figure out how to basically do a Google search for video media. So you capture some video and somehow you're able to use that as the search and find out if that video has been used anyplace else. A very famous time this tool was used is a moment where the Trump campaign used a video of people crossing a border to illustrate crossing the Mexican-U.S. border from Mexico to the U.S. That video had predated Trump's campaign by many years, and that video did not have anything to do with the Mexican-U.S. border. So listeners, before you imagine the solution, consider the problem. People suspicious of Trump then in 2016 maybe thought that this video or some part of it, something could be disproven. Did they use some garbage in the promotion? It's a reasonable question, especially if you hated Trump then. It's even a more reasonable question if you hate Trump today. Someone was able to capture that media from Trump's campaign media, grab the piece where they were crossing a border in mass, and come to discover that that media had origins well before the Trump campaign and had nothing to do with the Mexican border. Listeners, you are smart enough to figure out how to do this yourself. Personally, I haven't taken the time to do it. I predict I'd be able to do it if I spent the time and research. Listeners, I'm sure you can. So that's one untested method by me. Now, the one tested method by me is much cruder, much easier, but yet it reached my satisfaction to disprove or discredit the validity of the History Channel. Now, I was watching the History Channel on a public television in a cafe, so I couldn't pause and screen grab like I could if I had been watching it on my phone. So the hardest part of this was making note of the names and titles as the History Channel put them in front of people who were then credited as being experts or relevant voices on the subject. Now, I was able to get the name and the title of several of them, and I was able to get a couple of screenshots. My point, listeners, I didn't do a very good job of this. I would have done a better job if I had been doing it at home. In a matter of minutes, the Google searches for the names and the titles of these people proved that them being used as sources of these experts was bogus. It was misleading at best. It was a lie by History Channel. History Channel always has some root in nonfiction, but to use these actors as experts, as FBI agents and some of those things, very easy. That was something I was able to determine on my own. I close by repeating the 5 names again: Paul Rudd, John Cena, Alex Trebek, Catherine O'Hare, Billy Porter.